Yes, I believe my video is starting. It's always a good sign. On one side it tells me I'm live, and on the other one it tells me I'm starting. Okay, I am live. Hello, 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 hello. You are all very welcome to Wednesday's live call inside the Facebook group Map Your Future ABA, the place where we go from A to B and then decide we're going to go for a bigger and brighter A. Later today, this call will be on my YouTube channel, Map Your Future 25. And if you are watching on YouTube, do hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of the upcoming episodes. You're all very welcome to today's call. Today, I'm going to be diving into self image goals and mirror work and how they actually complement each other. So, let's look at what each of these elements involves and how they work together so you can start becoming your best version of yourself. So, first up, we have the self image. The term self image was coined by Dr. Maxwell Maltz in his classic book, Psycho Cybernetics. As a plastic surgeon, Maltz observed that patients often experience big personality shifts after surgeries to fix physical imperfections and scarring and the like, where they might have been injured in a car crash. Now, while some saw dramatic improvements in both appearance and behavior, others didn't see any psychological change at all, regardless of how perfect the surgery went. And this led Malls to develop the concept of self image psychology, which distinguishes between the outer image that we present to the world and our inner self perception. Okay, now what happens on the inside ends up happening, it dictates what happens on the outside. In a nutshell, the self image is how we view ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. And we can never outperform the self image that we have, but we can reprogram it. That's really important that you can reprogram your self image. You won't outperform it, but you can reprogram it. Now, a positive self image fosters belief in our potential, while a negative one is going to hold you back. The good news is that the self image, whether it's positive or negative, it can be improved with effort and with understanding. And improving it is, it's a personal journey, but practical steps can help build more confidence and positivity. So let me share some things that can help in this regard. An important thing to consider though is when you go to change yourself or make any what would be considered big life changes or make changes in your life or lifestyle, it it is so important to practice self-compassion. Now that sounds simple, doesn't it? Being kind to ourselves, being kind to yourself, learning to be kind to yourself instead of criticizing yourself for mistakes or perceived imperfections is life changing. How often do you give yourself grief in your own head? You see, you can choose to treat yourself the way you would treat a good friend using empathy, encouragement, and understanding. So often, we are our own worst enemies, giving ourselves dog's abuse in our own heads and how we address ourselves in our own minds. So when you're going to make changes, be kind to yourself. Be okay. Make it okay to make the occasional mistake. It's not the end of the world, but we can make it so much more disastrous. So be kind to yourself. If you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, which is a surprisingly common thought that the vast majority of people seem to have, replace it with a more positive or neutral thought. Something like, I'm doing my best and that's enough. Or one I use regularly is, I am good enough. I was always good enough. I will always be good enough. You see, what we say to ourselves really, really does matter. And if you can build yourself up or you can tear yourself down. So always remember that and work on being kind to yourself. That is so, so important. You don't have to get it perfect, but you do need to get it going, okay? So acknowledge your successes along the way, no matter how small they seem to be. This helps shifts your focus away from your shortcomings and towards your strengths and your accomplishments, which helps you breathe more strength and more accomplishments. Okay? Every week, I encourage people to reflect on their week and to look for the good and to celebrate the progress, no matter how small it is. This is what's known as private victory. Stephen Covey goes into a lot of depth on that in his Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Private victory is where you recognize the progress that you are making. You will never have validation or what he would call public victory without having private victory, which means validating yourself first, celebrating your wins, patting yourself on the back for the progress that you're making because you, just for the simple reason that you're making progress for yourself. And that is important that you validate yourself. Now, decide to take care of your physical, emotional, mental health and well-being because they are all interconnected. They are all connected. Now, this can have a huge impact on how you think and feel about yourself. This includes things like exercise, diet, eating nourishing, nutritious food, getting enough rest is an important one, relaxing, doing activities that bring you joy, being productive and effective. There are many, many ways you can improve your self-image. You can use your the life as a movie script technique. And this is where you consider that your life is like a movie script, where somebody's taken time, they've written the scene out, how you are, who you are, how you interact with people. All of that is written. And you write it out as your life is as a movie script. And then you review it. And you ask, is that what you want? Now, chances are it won't be. And then you choose to rewrite that movie script of your life as you want it to be. You're the star. You're the main character. You're the hero of the story. You get to choose how you're going to be. And that's a great technique to help us pull out where we are and then decide where we want to be. Another way I particularly like is where every single day, you see, we can do this on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be a massive ordeal, but every day you decide to focus on being how you want to be for that day. You manage yourself for a day. To do that, you ask yourself, what's my intention for today? How do I want to be today? And you consider, well, what mood do you want to be in? How do you want to feel as you go about your business that day? How do you want to interact with the important people or any of the people that you're going to need to interact with today? That could be your colleagues, your friends, your family, even on your own yourself, your clients, your customers. You do get to focus on how you want to be. You see, the more you focus on how you want to be, the more you start acting like the person you want to be. You start behaving like that person. In due course, when you keep on doing that, you become who you want to be. And that's magical when that happens. And then your results, they just soar. There are loads more ways to do this. And I can't share them all now, as I've got a number of different things still to share with you in this particular call. So let's jump into goals next. And let me share my opinion on what goals are for. The purpose of a goal is to provide direction and focus while fostering growth. I love that definition of what a goal is for. A goal is for us to grow. Goals give you a clear target to aim for, guiding your actions and your decisions. But their deeper value lies in the growth that occurs along the way. Whether or not that you achieve the goal, when you go after a goal, the process pushes you to expand your abilities. You start discovering things you didn't even know about yourself. You overcome challenges and you become a better version of yourself. In this way, goals are both a destination and a means of transformation. Now, that's if the goal really matters to you. If the goal is just an I could take it or leave it thing, it's not going to do what goals are meant to do. Goals are meant to help us to develop and grow. Okay? So let me share a bit about what my mentor Bob Proctor shared with me about goal types. Bob said goals break into three categories: A, B, and C. Now, A type goals are things that you already know how to do. Okay, they're comfortable. It keeps you nice in your comfort zone, but they don't lead to any growth. There's no growth in them. For example, going on the same holiday to the exact same spot year, or buying a new car, the exact same new car that you've done maybe every other year. Now, I'm not saying these things are bad because they're not, but they're not the kind of goals that's going to push you forward to get you to step out of your comfort zone to help you grow. Okay, there's no growth in them. Now, B type goals is when you get bored of the A type goal and you kind of want to stretch yourself a little. And the B type goals are things that you think you can do with the right plan and enough resources. So you gather all the information that you have access to and you make a detailed strategy and you think, if everything just falls into place, yeah, I can do this. But here's the problem: there's no real inspiration with something like that. These goals often lack the excitement and the drive to keep you going, when the inevitable challenges arise in life. Now, C type goals, these are the ones you really want. The ones that excite you and scare you at the same time. They come from your dreams, from your imagination. These are the goals that inspire you to take action and to grow, inspire you to step out of your comfort zone to grow and develop. Now, a common struggle many people say is, I don't know what I want. And Bob always had a ready answer for that. Bob used to say, I think you do know what you want. You're just rejecting it before you give it any serious thought. And I believe he was dead right about that because we can get these lovely ideas of how we want to be, do, and have. And then we get all caught up, I could never do that, or I can't. And all these thoughts come waving in because we never actually seriously sit down with a pen and paper and get super clear about what we want and why we want it. Life is bloody short. It's not a dress rehearsal. We're not getting out of this alive. And at the end of the day, when we're lying on our deathbed, we're not going to be worried about the things we did so much as the things that we didn't even try. Okay? And that's why I encourage you to go after your C type goal. Go after what you really want to be, what you really want to do, and what you really want to have in your life. Goals that challenge you and that force you to step outside your comfort zone because they need to push you sometimes. A goal, a good solid goal will give you that kick in the ass that you need sometimes to get up and make something happen. In my 6 month mentoring programs, I help people clarify what they truly want and then make steps to make it happen. Life is short. When you have a clear, inspiring goal, it will help you jump out of bed every day, excited to get to work on what you want, on who you want to be. So I would encourage you to take some time to think about what do you really want in your life? What is your C type goal? Ask yourself, what would I love to do? What would I love to have? Or what would I love to be in 6 months or beyond? Let your mind soar. Put no limit on this. Just write out everything that you want. And when you have that written out, go over your list and choose the one thing that you feel most drawn to it and put more work and build the picture, build the image, build the plan around what you really, really want. Set your goal and start to program your mind to make it happen. And one way to program the mind is where the final part of today's talk comes in, and that's mirror work. Mirror work is a technique where you look at yourself in the mirror in your own eyes, one at a time, because what you'll find is when you go to look in the mirror, you won't be able to look at two eyes at the same time. But when you do this while you're speaking positive affirmation or engaging in positive self talk. Now, this practice can significantly impact your self image and help reprogram your subconscious mind, which, by the way, if you're not aware, controls most of your behavior. Now, you can use it to build beliefs about yourself and what you want to achieve, and this works well with improving your self image and working on goals. Now, being fully transparent, mirror work is something I laughed at when I first became aware of it. I thought it was complete, utter nonsense, BS. But when you're able to dispel disbelief, skepticism, and work with it, it really does help. People like Jack Canfield have talked about this for years, Bob Proctor, Paul McKenna. So many of them have suggested this kind of work. But um, you have to suspend disbelief and skepticism and give it a go wholeheartedly to have any chance of it working for you. But it really does help. You see, when you look at yourself and you speak words of affirmation and you do it long enough, and the key is here long enough. You're going to do this only once or twice, don't waste your time. But if you do it long enough, you begin to believe it. You begin to believe what you're saying, which can boost your self confidence and your self worth, which of course improves and helps you develop your own self image. Now, when I first did this, I'm going to be honest with you, I felt like a right tool. I really did. And I gave myself an awful lot of abuse at the time. The self talk back then really wasn't pleasant. You see, for a long time, I really didn't like myself. I couldn't look myself in my own eyes. When I'd walk by a mirror, I'd look away. And I thought there was nothing special about me at all. In fact, I used to think there was a great deal wrong with me. But of course, that was a lot of nonsense, just nonsense I kept on telling myself. But I came to learn there is something special. There is something absolutely special about every single one of us. That includes me and that includes you. When you look yourself in your eye and you're kind to yourself instead of giving yourself crap, you know you're making progress in building yourself up. So when you can walk by a mirror and you're kind to yourself, right? You can build yourself up every bit as much as you can tear yourself down. There's both. You can build yourself up or you can tear yourself down. It's always better to build yourself up. Always. Repeating positive affirmations while looking at yourself helps your subconscious mind internalize the beliefs, help you to take action aligned with your goals and your dreams. You see, you won't take action until you believe you can succeed, and until you can believe you can succeed, sorry. And this really helps you to believe in you more. What the mind can believe, it can achieve. I believe it was Napoleon Hill said that. I think it's actually mine was what the mind of man can conceive, believe he can achieve. Yeah. Or woman. But mirror work does serve as a powerful tool of reinforcing your new self image. Focusing on the person in the mirror, you create a stronger connection with your true potential. Now, there is no limit on your potential. The problem is, most of us were never told that. Most of us were told when we were young, we were told the complete opposite. You can only do so much, you can only go so far. Be careful, mind yourself, be careful, don't do this, don't try that. And we find it hard to believe our potential is unlimited. But it is. It's totally unlimited. You and me, all of us, are God's highest form of creation on this planet so far as we know. We have been gifted with creative faculties. We can create anything out of our life once we make decisions on what we want, who we want to be, where we want to go, and we're willing to take action to get there. There is no limit on what we can achieve except the limits that we place on ourselves. Do you see how these things work together? By programming your subconscious, combining a positive self image with specific goals and mirror work, you begin to rewire your subconscious mind. There's a thing called brain plasticity. I would encourage you, if you're not familiar with the term, to look it up. I don't have time to explain it right now. But what you're doing is you're not just telling yourself that you're capable, you're showing yourself when you do these three things that you believe it. And that belief will drive your actions. Once your subconscious is aligned with your conscious desires, you will naturally take inspired action towards your goals. And people say, well, what's inspired action? You know what's inspired action. And I want you to listen to this really clearly. It's when you get an idea, you know it's a bloody good idea. You step out and you take action on that idea and you get a better result. That is what an inspired action is. Okay? Because you've removed the mental blocks and doubts that would otherwise hinder your progress. Because when you're talking positively to yourself, you are not talking negatively to yourself. As your self image shifts and your goal becomes clear, you're more likely to attract opportunities that align with that image and you become a magnet for success and abundance. In short, by using these tools, cultivating a positive self image, setting meaningful goals, and practicing mirror work, you're effectively reprogramming your mind to support your growth. Over time, this alignment helps you to take consistent action towards your dream, making it not just possible, but inevitable. See, every new day as a fresh start. Check in with yourself. Set your intent for the day ahead. Work on installing your self image, the image you want. Install your goal into your subconscious via mirror work so you can step out of the comfort zone and take action towards it. Nothing happens inside the comfort zone. Absolutely nothing. Now, I share a hell of a lot more on these ideas and other strategies in the free Win Your Day mini course. I share the exact strategies that I use on a daily basis that has helped me to transform my life, things I share with my clients that are helping them transform their lives. You'll learn the powerful methods, the benefits behind them, and how to implement them yourself for yourself to make dramatic and lasting positive change. This isn't about goal setting, it's about achieving them, becoming your best self, and living a life full of success, balance, and vitality. A life that you want to live, a life that you've chosen for yourself. I'm going to pop a link below in the comments for you to access it, but I would encourage you do get access to this today because it's only going to be available for another 24 hours or so. Get it now. You have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. Okay, that's it for today, folks. I will be back here again next week in Map Your Future ABA Live at 1 p.m. GMT and 9 a.m. Eastern. And keep an eye out. I'm going to be announcing something this Friday. Something I'm very excited about. Have a great week, everybody. God bless you. But take some time, decide who you want to be, decide what you want to do, and get working on programming that into your mind. You'll be so glad you did. Have a great day, everybody. God bless you all. Bye bye.